Well, we've made it to opening day, which seemed like a really far time off as we started this in May, has quickly come upon us. It is a beautiful weekend. We should have a great charter member event today, and then the opening shotguns tomorrow and Sunday. But as you get ready to come back out on the golf course, I wanted to share a couple expectations with you so you know exactly what to expect as you come back out. First of all, as we talked about last week, those bunkers are going to be really soft. Use that great tip that Ben gave us. Lower lofted club, opened up a bit more to add to that bounce so it gets through the sand easier. But on these new green complexes, you're going to see a little bit of different sand. Second is going to be the firmness of the greens. Brand new greens are always firmer than your standard green. It has really not much to do with the Bermuda grass. It actually has to do with that sublayer, which has a lot of sand base. When you pack down that sand, it becomes pretty firm. I'm going to show you here in a second just a few shots that I hit, and you'll see how they release more than you would expect as I'm here on number 12. So while the approach shots will be a little firmer, ball will release a little more, putting on these greens will definitely be a little different than you might expect coming out of renovation. A couple different things are impacting that. Number one, remember, these are still brand new greens. And some of these greens are newer than others. We started the sprigging process in June and ended it mid-July. So some greens have had longer to grow in. And Chris can only get the green speeds up to as fast as he's comfortable with for the newest greens. So everything's gonna be a little bit slower than you'd probably expect coming out of renovation. Number two, we're starting to already see signs of dormancy. We've had a couple nights already in the 40s. We're not gonna go dormant completely until we start to see frost, but Bermuda grass does start to slow down growing, and Chris has to start to prepare for that. Talking to a lot of other superintendents in the area and reading about it over the last several months, superintendents start to slow greens down or at least raise the height sometime in mid-September. Well, Chris was still trying to grow these in all the way up till now. So you're gonna see greens over the next couple weeks that are going to be a higher height than you're going to see next year as we get into the spring and obviously next summer. So don't be surprised by that. And the roll's not going to be nearly as true as you're going to see next year. That takes time. That takes cultivation, Chris top dressing, Chris rolling. All of these greens are still finishing up the grow-in process, but we know as we move into October, they're not going to grow a whole lot more. So you're probably going to have to hit the putts a little harder than you'd expect. Downhill putts may slow down a little bit more than you expect, but all in all, the golf course looks great. In the second here, I'm just going to hit some putts on 12 just to give you an idea of how those do slow down. It was great to get out on the golf course earlier today before our charter member event started. I think everyone's having a great time out there. As you saw in some of those videos, the golf course will play a little differently in these first several months leading into the winter time, and then as we get into next spring. But I think you're going to really enjoy it. Just remember, hit those putts a little harder, hit it a little shorter than the flag than you're used to, and you're going to have a great time. We've got some great before and afters we've done for all of the holes that we made changes on. You're going to get to see those both this weekend and then through the next week. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day.